My name is Emily Kravitz. I work here in the Career Center at DePaul. I have all my contact information right here, so please feel free to contact me with any questions after this. But my role at DePaul is to run our co-op internship program, which is for students who want to work in paid internships that run year-round. So as Rich mentioned, I'm going to talk today primarily about our DePaul.Experience website, and also show you a little bit about our brand new updated Career Center website so that we can show you all the different ways that you can connect with us over your time in the P.A.T.H.S program. I'm just curious, who's thinking about going right on to graduate school at this point when you finish? Okay, a fair amount of you. How about those who think you want to start working right away? Couple. I see a lot of hands not going up, and I'm guessing it's because you're still maybe deciding which of those two options might be best for you, which is perfectly okay. But despite the fact that you think you might want to start working right after college, or maybe you're thinking you want to go right to graduate school when you finish school, no matter what, you really want to have some sort of career experience while you're in college that'll A, help you build up your grad school applications, B, help you understand what it is that you might want to go to grad school for or start a job in. And so in the Career Center, we can really help you navigate that no matter what your goals are for post-college. Okay? I'm curious, have many of you heard of DePaul.Experience or been in there? Is this a foreign language to you? Maybe? Okay, so I'm glad I'm here then. Okay. So those of you, and I think you're primarily freshmen, sophomores, maybe earlier at DePaul, but if any of you are juniors by chance, you may recognize DePaul.Experience as our old site, which was called eRecruiting. So in case anybody is familiar with eRecruiting, it's now called DePaul.Experience.com. Okay? Every student already has a preset login and password, and the instructions are on the website, but I just want to show it to you here. It's always going to be DPU, and then the last 7 digits of your student ID, and the password is always DePaul. Okay, so you don't need to contact us to get a username or password. You're already pre-set up. You just have to log in with your DPU and then student ID number. Okay? Here we go. So, and it tells you, in case you're missing it, I know it's hard to read it in the back, but in the left side it will say if you're a student, you log in with DPU and the last 7 digits of your ID again, and the password is DePaul. Okay, so this is not to be confused with the Career Center website. This is a completely separate system that we run. This is where we keep everything we do career-wise. This is where we're going to have all of our jobs and internships and co-ops, both paid and unpaid opportunities. This is where we're going to keep our Career Center calendar, which is chock full of events and workshops and job and internship fairs, company presentations. Sometimes we put graduate school recruitment events in there as well. We also keep our alumni sharing knowledge network, which is called Ask in here, and I'm going to walk you through where all this is, obviously. But this is kind of your one-stop shop to find all of your different career opportunities in one different place. Okay? So once you actually log in, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, I'm just going to log in really quick, and I'm going to pull up one of my students' IDs so you can see what it looks like. The first time you go in, if you've never created a profile before, it's going to prompt you to create it right on the spot. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is what it will look like after you've completed a profile. Okay, so it looks something like this, and this is basically the main sort of control page with everything that you need. Are you guys pretty into Twitter and using Facebook and things like that? A couple of you. But we do have all sorts of ways to connect with us with all of our social media. We have a really, really good YouTube channel as well. It's the DePaul Career Center YouTube channel. And there you're going to find what we call 60-second clips. So just 60 seconds of ways to get involved with the Career Center and understand a little bit more about our services. So those are kind of fun to check out when you first log in. But just to give you an idea of where everything is sort of housed and organized, right in the main section here are the things that I think you guys might be interested in, which would be jobs and internships and co-ops. You can't miss it right here on the main page. Also on the left is our calendar. We have one-click searches, so if you're an education major maybe and you just want to see what's open to those types of students or people that are studying that area, you can just kind of click on everything open for that field. Okay? And then at the top you're going to find our Ask program, our calendar, so on and so forth. Okay? All right. Doing lots of back and forth here today. So, like I mentioned, these are the things that are sort of part of what we have in DePaul.Experience, and the things that I have in red font are the things that I think might be most helpful for you right at the beginning of your P.A.T.H.S program. So every time you want to register for a workshop or an event, which are one of the things that you can do to complete the career domain, you'll find it there, our Career Center calendar, and then the Career Mentor program as well. Okay, so I have some screenshots. So the first time that you log in, so if you go home, say today, and kind of get right on it, when you first go back to the DePaul Experience page, it's going to prompt you right away to complete a profile. Okay? You want to make very sure that all of your profile is completely accurate and up to date. Meaning that if you are a freshman today, and next year you become a sophomore hopefully, the system will not automatically update. Okay, so a lot of times I'll see like June 2011 grads that still say that they're a freshman because they never went in and updated that. So that's just a little helpful hint for you. Because when employers can go into the site and maybe search for you, they're going to be looking for a certain criteria and you want to make sure that everything lines up. Okay? The other thing is a lot of the jobs require some sort of GPA. Okay? For example, my co-op program, I require at least a 2.5 GPA. So if you don't put your GPA in, you will physically get blocked for my internship. So just make sure that everything is kind of accurate and up to date and that you're kind of always going back in and making sure that you have everything on here. Okay, if you declare a double major, if you decide to change your major, you want to make sure you let the system know. And as I showed you before, I just have some arrows here and I'll give you this presentation to put on your website so you guys can refer back to everything sort of step by step where we're keeping everything. All the jobs, all the internship fairs, and everything like that would be there. Has anybody ever been to any of our workshops or job fairs or anything like that? I'm just curious. Yeah? What kind of event did you go to?
I went to the Myers-Briggs.
Oh, Myers-Briggs type indicator? Great. So that's a career assessment to help you understand how your personality preferences kind of fit into the workplace. And so I should mention that all of our events, all of our workshops, all of our job fairs, all of our advising is completely 100% free for both students and alumni. Okay? If you're a prospective student, if you're thinking about coming to DePaul, you're also welcome to come to our workshops and could potentially meet with one of our career advisors as well. Okay? But our job fairs are open only to current students and alum. So kind of in that step 2, so now you're going to be searching for events and workshops to help you fulfill your domains on the career side of your roadmap. So we kind of break it down by each of the types of events, workshops, networking events, things like that. Once you actually sign up for a workshop or an event, you can actually go back through the calendar and you'll be able to see the event that you signed up for. Okay, so if you're kind of like me and you don't write down things on paper in a calendar, which I don't recommend you do, you'll always have everything right here. Okay, if you need to switch the date, if you needed to sign up for an event and then you have a class or you have some other activity, you can go in and drop that and pick a different one. Okay, so we kind of keep track of everything, and that way, you know, when you need to verify that you've come to a workshop, you can print this out, or Rich can kind of go in and take a look at it, so everything will sort of be here as a permanent record for what you've done. Okay? I know it's hard to read all the fine print here, but when we put this on the website, you'll be able to see it better. So why bother creating a profile on DePaul Experience? Lots of reasons. First and foremost, access to all of our jobs and internships, like I said. I pulled a list of every job and internship in our system on Friday, and we had 981 postings. Okay, 981 companies potentially are out there looking to hire you and give you some good work experience. That's a lot of positions. We add new positions every single day. We probably approve between 10 and 20 new internships and jobs every single day. We've got a lot of part-time jobs out there, so if you're looking to have an income while going to school, about 50% of our internships pay right now. Every position in the co-op program that I manage is completely paid. Also, it helps you keep up on all of our activities and events. DePaul's Career Center is extremely comprehensive. We've got a lot of employers literally in our backyard that are kind of coming out here and wanting to share with DePaul students. We have a huge alumni population that also wants to give back to DePaul students, so they're going to be on campus doing practice interviews. We have something called office hours where companies will literally pull up a chair in our office and you can just come and ask them questions. It doesn't have to be about their company, just about life in the career world, for example. And also we have this really cool program called Alumni Sharing Knowledge. Is that familiar at all to anybody? Yeah, a couple of you, seeing some heads nod. This may be an assignment in some of your classes that you've had, or you might choose to do this as part of your career exploration. But it's a database of about 1,000 DePaul alumni who volunteer to be a career resource for you. Okay? So if you maybe have an interest in being, say, a marketing analyst, but you really don't know much about it, or you don't have any family or friends that are doing something like that, you just need a little guidance to actually understand how did you get here, what do you do all day, what do you like, what do you not like, they actually volunteer to be a resource for you. Okay? Also, if you're thinking like Chicago winters are no fun, I want to get out of here as soon as I graduate, you can talk to mentors that live in other states, other countries, and kind of get their perspective as well. I was working with a student last week who wants to move to Portland, it's just a goal of hers, and she was able to find 2 mentors that were more than willing to meet with her, help her make some connections, and just talk about life in Portland. Okay? So I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions as well in this presentation on how to actually access the database. Again, it's right here at the top where you see the arrow, and it shows you how to find different mentors as well. So then I also want to point out our Career Center website, which again is brand new. We've just recently updated it. You can find all sorts of information on here. But again, the website itself is more for informational purposes about us. It's not to sign up for events and job fairs and things like that for your P.A.T.H.S program. Okay? But you can also, if you go to our website, which is careercenter.depaul.edu, you can still click on events and workshops and see all the events that we have to offer as well as a pretty detailed explanation on each of our workshops. Okay? They range from everything from how to create a resume, to networking strategies, to using social media, like how you guys mentioned some interest to actually help you in your job search, so how to use Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook to help you find a job. So it's all different kinds of workshops here that you can get access to. The other thing that I wanted to point out, which is definitely part of your P.A.T.H.S program, is meeting with a career advisor. In the Career Center at DePaul, we have offices both in the Lincoln Park and Loop campus. Here in Lincoln Park, we're in the SAC, just across the street, right by the Bean on the main floor. And in the Loop campus, we're on the 9th floor in the DePaul Center. That's where my office is, so you can always come in and meet with me if you happen to be down in the Loop. But you have career advisors available to you broken down by your college or field of interest. So if you're thinking about some sort of liberal arts and science career, either in the sciences or nonprofit or hospitality, social services, your career advisors will be here in Lincoln Park, as well as the School of Ed career advisor, music and theater will all be here in Lincoln Park. Okay? In the Loop, you're going to have your 2 commerce advisors. So we have one advisor who does nothing but accounting and finance. We have one advisor who does everything else, like marketing, economics, things like that. You also find the College of Communications advisor and the CDM advisor as well. Okay? You're welcome to come to any advisor, though, obviously. So if you might be a CDM major and you're thinking, I don't know if this is for me, I'd like to really check something out as a history major, for example, you can always come meet with an advisor here in Lincoln Park. Okay, so it kind of follows your classes. If you tend to have more classes in the Loop, your advisor will probably be in the Loop as well. Okay? But if you go to career and major advice, it will give you all the options for meeting with our career advisors. If you need help, like say right now, and you just want to get someone to look at your resume really quick, or you're going to be talking to a mentor in one of your classes and just need a little bit of help, we have walk-in advisors, they're peer advisors. Great way to get some student leadership experience on campus. They're all undergrad and grad students, but they are available at a walk-in basis at any time. Okay, our professional advisors, you typically need to make an appointment with them. Okay, you can talk to them either over the phone or in person, so they're very accessible. So if you click on one of the advisors, so I happen to click on the College of Communication advisor, it gives you his picture so that maybe you'll recognize him if you see him, also a little bit about him, and then further down on the page it gives you all sorts of resources about careers in those areas. So if you're someone that just works a lot, goes to school, you're commuting, and you just can't physically meet with him, we put all sorts of resources like what can I do with this major on that web page, what are companies that might recruit this major, what are typical salaries you can expect with this major, so all the different things that you might need for your career exploration side of things. Okay. So does that make sense, kind of the differences? So DePaul Experience is where you're going to record all your activities, you're going to set up a profile, you're going to come to our events and workshops to help you complete what you need to complete for this program. The website is really going to be more about just general information about the Career Center and how you actually make an appointment with your career advisor. Okay? So if you need help taking the first step, obviously I said reach out to me anytime. I'm very happy to talk to you about anything career related. If it's just to say, hey, you might want to go to this event, or why don't we sit down and talk together. So I'll leave my contact info up as well. But like I said, you can visit a peer advisor on a walk-in basis, and you can also reach them through instant message as well. So if you're at home and can't make it to campus, you can get a quick question answered. We also have a student-run blog called My 2 Cents, which talks about students like yourself going through college, figuring out how to survive on maybe a smaller paycheck or just a student paycheck, but also thinking about their career and grad school decisions as well. So you could basically get to read what they're going through, which is probably very similar to what many of you might be going through here as well. Okay.